An alternative to the ACT and SAT college entrance exams. Just last week, the Board of Governors for Florida's university system approved the Classic Learning Test for undergrad admissions. That means students applying to any of the 12 state universities can submit exam scores from this new test. Wait News anchor Emma Heaton joins us in the studio. And Emma, how does this exam differ from the others?
Lois, it's shorter, but that's not what's got critics questioning the exam. The CLT makes no apologies for drawing on Western culture and religion. Before now, more than 200 colleges accepted CLT test results for admission, most of them small, private, and faith-based. Florida becomes the first state to do the same at 12 public universities.
Gone are the days of choosing between the ACT or the SAT. If students in Florida want to go to a Florida public university like Florida or Florida State or FGCU, students have a third option, the Classic Learning Test or CLT.
Biggest thing is there's just not a lot known about it.
Andrew Spar, president of the Florida Education Association, told me the Board of Governors for the State University System of Florida got it wrong. First, he does not believe there's enough evidence that CLT, which began in 2015, is a viable option to the ACT or SAT.
The second thing to consider with this test is that it is a test that seems to rely heavily on religion, specifically Christianity.
A handful of state lawmakers worry the CLT's emphasis on Western culture and religion could give some students advantages over others. An example straight from the sample exam here, under philosophy and religion, which says this passage is adopted from John Paul II's On Christian Meaning of Human Suffering, first published in 1984. But the CLT website says CLT is not religiously or politically affiliated, and students do not need prior knowledge of these texts to succeed, adding that by the end of high school, students should be able to read texts that they agree or disagree with and glean information from them. Kevin Daly, president of the Lee County Teachers Association, doesn't agree with that at all.
If it's a Christian-focused test, I think we need to think about, does that lead to kind of a religious slant on what we're teaching kids in public schools, which doesn't belong. I mean, politics and religion simply don't belong in public schools.
The people behind the CLT published a report in April comparing its test to the SAT and concluded both tests cover similar content that measure similar skills. The College Board, which created and runs the SAT, issued its own report in July and concluded 25% of the questions on the CLT were below high school grade level. I reached out to all 12 Florida public universities for reaction to accepting the CLT, and you can read those responses along with this story on winknews.com.